One of the questions Christ asked me was, who would you be if everyone you knew didn't know you? That's you. If you can define that or describe that. Oh, I'm a person who likes this. I'm a person who does that. It doesn't have to be great. It just has to be real, because real is the greatest feeling. We can't create great. We can only feel it. And in the book, there's so many things that bring that back to you, that remind you who you are. When you were that kid and you were running around and nobody started telling you what you can't do yet, and then you get to remember that, and then you say, wow, that person who just happened to say this while they were walking by, and it totally shaped my life. But they'd forgotten, and God knows where they are now. Yet you took that little bit of information and created a life around it. And sometimes if you let that take away from you, like someone says, oh, you're always messy. And then every time something's messy, like, I'm always messy. You let them and their issues take strength in your life. And one of the beauties of reading the words of Christ in this book, or the things I had to go through to write the book, because I had to experience everything to understand it, you're reminded that all of that is in your hands. No one is left behind. There is no soul on earth left behind. I don't care who they are. Anyone that's listening to us speak, they're not left behind, even if they're sitting alone watching us, thinking that nobody in this world cares about them. They're lying, and that's really what's bothering them. Because people do care about each other, but you have to allow them to care. And when you can start to care about yourself, that's when you can care about others. And until you can, you will feel alone. But it's not because others aren't around you. It's because you yourself are not around you.
In what way have your spiritual experiences transformed your understanding of social and global issues?
They had made me feel more part of what goes on everywhere. That people are people, and love is love is love. And truth is just truth, and that is for everybody. So just because I can't see somebody, or they're in another country, or they don't agree with me on a political level, it doesn't mean that they're wrong or bad or gets to get hurt because we decided, or I decided, or someone decided that they're not human, or they're not worth it, or we're better than anybody. And every generation has had their we're better than and their common enemy. And it's funny that every time that slot gets emptied, we fill it with another group of people without realizing they're families. Everybody is different on earth. And then we're all the same. And then we're all different again. We're all different in the first different by race and creed and location. And that teaches us our challenge. That teaches us who we are by defining who we are not. It doesn't mean one has to be better than the other, but we, that's human, have done that. We're all the same, that we all come from a mother. We all have families and brothers and sisters and favorite foods and favorite TV shows and couches in our homes. And then we're all different again in our talents, because nobody has a monopoly on wisdom. We aren't meant for each one of us to know everything. That creates the need to know each other and to get along and to create growth with each other's talents, rather than strip each other because of resources or talents or whatever it is we think that we don't possess but we want to own.